Hi guys, this episode is brought to you by a comment that was recently made under one of my videos that they did not understand how I can be a part of a religion that did not consider me an equal. So first off, let's start at the point where most Western countries did not give women their equal rights until the 70s, 80s, and 90s. There was a time in the Western world where people were questioning, and by people I mean men, they were questioning whether a woman even had a soul, okay? And so it's a very arrogant and ignorant opinion, and even misogynistic. It can be colonialist. Just it's like this question in this day of technology and this day of information, the age of information. I encourage you to please educate yourself. Google something before you make a comment like that. Don't allow your fears or your hatred to overcome your common sense and make comments like that have no basis in fact. Okay, so in the time that I've been alive, women in the West have gotten their rights in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, okay? And it's very arrogant to think that other countries that you think are beneath you or third world did not have rights for women. Please stop listening to mainstream media and educate yourself. Open a book, read some history. So over 1400 years ago, in the deserts of Arabia, women got their rights. That's when women got their rights, over 1400 years ago. We received the right to have a divorce. We received the right to choose who we were going to marry. We received the right to be able to get an education at the same level as men. We received the right to be able to keep our own money, to have a job, to have a business, to run a business, and the money that we would contribute would be considered charity if we use it to help our family. If we got an inheritance, we were allowed to keep it all. We were not obligated to use it to take care of our families. Basically, all the rights that you consider to be human rights for women and men, women had it over 1400 years ago. And even the right to vote, okay? Women in the West did not get the right to vote until this last century. So the other aspect of this is that you have allowed yourself, whoever you are, to ignore facts, to discard them altogether, not even bother with them. Because if you had, you would have known that the things that you see in the news are not truth, they're opinions. And if you are using as an example things that are happening in countries that are calling themselves Christian or Muslim, and they are not setting an example, a good example of what good human rights are, that does not they do not represent religion. Okay, so I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. The religions didn't start off from an evil place. They started off from a good place. It's human beings, men basically, for money and power that have corrupted the religions and have used them to implement things that they needed, like to get power, to get more money. If you are looking for equality in Afghanistan and you're blaming Islam for anything that's going wrong there, for women's equality or lack of equality, whatever your opinion is, why is it that you feel the need to blame religion? Because it has nothing to do with religion. It's actually patriarchy that's causing the problem, and cultural values or their idea of values. So if somebody's saying women shouldn't be getting an education, that's not from Islam any more than it's from Christianity. It's not a religious issue. It's a cultural issue. It also can be a patriarchal issue, but it's not a religious issue. listening to mainstream media and then without doing any research and forming an opinion means nothing. So the other aspect of this is you wouldn't like it if somebody took a person that had a Christian background who committed a violent crime and labeled him as Christian. You wouldn't like that. But you do it to Muslims all the time. You do it to non-white Christian people all the time. But just because you do it, it doesn't make it fact. The rest of us still have to go on and live with our lives. You having this ignorant opinion that women are not valued in Islam is just that, an ignorant opinion. It's not actual fact. I encourage you to open a book, specifically open the Quran. Don't worry, it doesn't bite. Read it, and I challenge you to show me where does it say. Where does it say that women are not valued? The first word in the Quran is read. It doesn't say anywhere that women or men have to read or be educated. It's read in general. We, as men and women, have the obligation to be educated. I challenge you to find in the Quran where it says that women are not valued. I wanted to do this episode without any emotion, but it's really hard to stay cool-headed when I'm first of all, I'm dealing with ignorance, and two, it's kind of like tiring after years and years of the information age. We are well into the information age, and it kind of almost feels like a misnomer that it's called the information age, when there are still comments like that being made about something that should be obvious. It's really easy to sit behind a keyboard and type away furiously. And it's a lot harder to open a book and actually look for the information. I challenge you, look for the information. And if you don't have a Quran or you don't have any access to a Quran, I happen to have a few extra copies. DM me, message me below, and I will post it to you at my expense. I will send it to you and I'll pay for the shipping wherever you are, if only for you to get the Quran and read. Okay? So, I also encourage people to like, share, follow, and contribute below in the comment section, because that helps the algorithm. And I hope I see you again on the next episode. And by the way, I really enjoy having these conversations because I'm hoping that I can help dispel some of these ideas, whether it's about history or whether it's about religion or, women's equality. Women's equality is not what you think it is, because men and women are not equal. It's about equity. Because even in the Northern European countries where they have implemented equality, you will still see men going into the engineering, the math, and the science, and the health industry. And you will see women going into the industries that are related with what they can deal with human beings on a day-to-day. Because women tend to prefer dealing with human beings, and men tend to prefer dealing with things, okay? So you can talk about equality all you like, but in our DNA, we have specific traits, and we all prefer to do the jobs that we all prefer to do. And you can't legislate that. Anyway, if you have any comments, put them down below, and we can discuss it again on the next episode. So I'll see you later. Bye.